Have you ever noticed that the harder you chase profits, the further they seem to slip away? You sit down at the charts after a long shift at work. You're tired, you've only got 2 hours before bed, and all you can think about is making this session worth it. That mindset feels productive. It feels like you're determined. But in reality, it's the fastest way to dig yourself into losses. This is what Alan Watts called the backwards law, the idea that the more you pursue something like happiness, calm, or in our case profits, the more elusive it becomes. Trading magnifies this principle. When your entire focus is on outcomes, winning money, building the account, proving yourself, the market punishes you. You force trades that aren't there, you size up too big, you break your own plan. I've been there. I used to open my charts after my day job thinking, I don't have much time, so I need to make money right now. And every time I chased it, I ended up further behind. The nights where I was desperate to win were the exact nights I sabotaged myself the most. The irony? The trades where I detached from outcomes, followed my plan with patience, and stopped caring about winning right now, those were the sessions where I actually made consistent progress. This video is about why chasing trading success pushes it away and how flipping your mindset, focusing on the process instead of the outcome, is the real edge for 9 to 5 traders like us. Let's ground this in a real example. A few years back, after working an exhausting double shift, I came home, fired up the charts, and told myself I'd take just one trade to grow my account. The problem was, my body was drained, my focus was fried, and my patience was gone. I didn't wait for confirmation, I didn't size properly. I just wanted to see green before going to bed. That one trade turned into 3, then 5. Each loss made me more determined to win it back. I told myself, if I just keep pushing, I'll recover. Instead, I ended the night with my account down 15%. That spiral perfectly fits the backwards law. The more I obsessed over recovering and forcing a win, the further away discipline and profitability slipped. Psychology explains why this happens. Decision fatigue sets in after long hours of work. Studies show that depleted willpower reduces impulse control, making traders more likely to take risks they'd normally avoid. Add in the illusion of control bias, the belief that we can bend outcomes if we just try harder, and you have the perfect recipe for emotional trading. The more I wanted to control the result, the more control I lost. And that's the paradox. The market rewards patience, not force. Most 9 to 5 traders fall into this exact trap. Because time is limited, the pressure to perform in those small trading windows builds. You start thinking every night has to be productive, every chart session has to produce profits. But that expectation flips your psychology upside down. It shifts focus from execution to outcome, and outcomes can't be controlled. What you can control, your mindset, your rules, your patience, is exactly what slips away the moment you make money the goal. Here's where it gets dangerous. Chasing trading success doesn't just increase mistakes, it triggers a cycle of emotional feedback loops that reinforce bad habits. When you tell yourself, I have to win tonight, your brain releases dopamine in anticipation of that reward. But if the trade goes wrong, which it usually does under pressure, the dopamine crash feels even worse than the financial loss. This emotional pain pushes you into revenge trading, doubling down to make it back. On top of that, the backwards law interacts with loss aversion, a well-documented bias in behavioral finance. Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky found that losses feel twice as painful as equivalent gains feel good. So when you're chasing wins, every loss is amplified emotionally, and it clouds judgment even further. And let's not forget time scarcity. 9 to 5 traders often sit at the charts with the mindset, I've only got 2 hours, so I need results fast. That scarcity mindset narrows focus onto the wrong metric, speed and outcome instead of process and discipline. The result? Overtrading, oversized positions, ignored stop losses. Not because the trader lacks knowledge, but because the backwards law hijacks the psychology of trading. This is why you can study setups, memorize strategies, and still lose if your mindset is warped by outcome chasing. It's not a skill problem, it's a perspective problem. The market punishes neediness. It rewards detachment. The harder you try to force success, the more it slips away. So how do you escape this trap? You apply the backwards law in reverse. Stop obsessing over the end goal and pour your energy into the process. Shift your metrics. Instead of tracking P&L every session, measure yourself by process goals. Did you follow your rules? Did you avoid impulsive trades? Did you wait for your setups? If you can answer yes, that was a winning day, no matter what the balance says. Build patience into the routine. As 9 to 5 traders, time is limited. But that doesn't mean every session has to produce a trade. Create rules like, if I don't see a valid setup in 30 minutes, I shut the charts down. This prevents desperation from hijacking your session. Use pre-trade rituals. Before entering a trade, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, am I trading my setup or my emotions? That moment of mindfulness interrupts impulsive behavior and recenters your focus. Journal outcome detachment. Write down not just your trades, but your emotions before and after. Over time, you'll see patterns. Outcome-chasing trades will have shaky notes. Disciplined trades will feel calmer. That awareness is the first step to change. Reframe losses. Losses aren't failures. They're tuition. As long as the loss followed your plan, it's a cost of doing business. This mindset kills the urge to fix it now and aligns you with long-term success. The more you detach from the outcome, the more consistently profitable you'll become. That's the paradox in action. When you stop chasing and start focusing on process, something shifts. Your sessions feel calmer. The pressure to win now dissolves. You begin to trust your rules instead of your emotions. Psychological research calls this flow state, when you're fully absorbed in the process, detached from outcomes, and performing at your peak. Traders who cultivate this state outperform because they're no longer fighting themselves. Over time, this approach rewires your identity. You're no longer the trader who needs to make money tonight. You become the trader who executes with discipline. That shift in identity is what creates consistency, and consistency is what creates profit. Here's the irony. When you stop needing the wins so badly, the wins actually come. Not all at once, not every night, but steadily, compounding into growth that feels almost effortless compared to the grind of chasing. The backwards law teaches us that in trading, as in life, obsession with outcomes breeds suffering, while focus on process breeds results. So the next time you sit at the charts after work, remember, the goal isn't to win tonight, it's to execute well tonight. Success will follow in its own time. If this breakdown of the backwards law hit home for you, don't just nod and move on. Take tonight and actually track how many of your trading decisions are process-driven versus outcome-driven. That single exercise can change the way you approach the market. And if you want to keep sharpening the mental side of trading, tune in every week. I drop new content focused on trading psychology, discipline, and building consistency as a 9 to 5 trader. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and keep building the mindset that separates professionals from the rest.